Welcome back to the vStudio. Right now we have Philip from Bridge Technologies with us. So Philip, would you share with us some of the key trends you see taking place in the media industry?
Well, if we talk about this show, it seems that things haven't changed that much. What we still see, of course, is the IPVization of the industry, which of course is something that we've been promoting for many, many years, since we started the company, in fact. Our solution has always been IP-based. So what you're seeing here at the show is just a continuation of that trend. And interestingly enough, if you just take Singapore, for example, this is probably one of the areas of the world where the density of Bridge Tech probes is probably the highest in the entire world.
Yep.
And these devices that we have, which are monitoring probes, are T2 or the RF-based probes, but of course they all have an IP capability.
Yes.
So what you're seeing is something that we've been talking about for years, which is the, if you like, the amalgamation of the two. And a Bridge Tech probe is really as a combination of RF and IP. However, what we're seeing now is that there's a complete IPVization of the industry, which of course we cover with our IPTV solutions and our OTT solutions.
Yes.
And the really interesting thing that I have to talk about is what's happening in the production side of the business. Because our company has been, if you like, in the mainstream, which has been in contribution and in distribution. That means moving pictures around and compressing them and putting them into consumers' homes. But there's a whole section of the industry that has up to now been like an island in all of this, and that's been the production industry. And what we're seeing with the standardization that's being done with SMPTE 2110 means that an industry that was traditionally SDI is now moving very firmly into the entirely IP domain. And that's something that we fully embrace. And in fact, at this show, we're showing for the first time here in APAC a product which is designed specifically for the production industry. It's not on our partners, our business partner stand. It's actually on a partner in Japan called Leader. They announced recently a partnership with us. And this probe is capable of taking high bandwidth video and monitoring it in accordance with the SMPTE 2110 standard. So what you're seeing, what we've done certainly over the past 18 months is to be present at all of the interop meetings. We're going to another one, I think it's in August, is the next one, where all the vendors get together and test out the equipment in this new and exciting, entirely IP world for the production industry. This is a revolution for the industry itself. As I say, it's been an island up until now. And one of the things about adopting SDI, about adopting entirely IP solutions, is people ask the obvious question: does it work? The whole idea is that the only way you can know it works is if you can measure it, and that's where Bridge Tech comes into the picture, by being able to measure the actual transmission of uncompressed video using SMPTE 2110, but of course we also support SMPTE 2022-6 and SMPTE 22-7. So we're entirely compatible. People also ask the inevitable question, well, what about 4K and 8K? And I would say the answer is yes. Okay, so all of those are, it's just a question of bandwidth.
And what are the solutions that Bridge Technologies is bringing to us this year at Broadcast Asia?
Well, apart, of course, from the VB440, which is aimed specifically at the production industry, we remain very much in the contribution distribution area. And an area that we've been focusing on over the, I would say, the past 3 or 4 years, which you can actually see being implemented at our partner TechTel.
Yeah.
Our partner TechTel down on the floor beneath us,
Yeah.
on the whole floor, fourth floor, is what we're doing around QoE, so quality of experience. So on one hand, you've got what we have traditionally done, which is looking at the transport stream, and all of the issues around transport stream, out of order packets, jitter, and all of those things.
Yep.
And then, of course, you've got the issue of QoE, quality of experience.
Yes.
Now, that was rather simplistically done in the past by saying, well, what does the picture look like? If it looks like a good picture, it must be good. Well, yes and no, because you can have an awful lot of latency, which causes disruptions when it comes to being able to channel change and things of that type. And so what we have here is two basic approaches that we have. We have, on the one, we have an absolute measurement, typically MOS score type measurement that you'd have by saying this is a good picture.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the problems with that, of course, is if you were to watch a film like The Matrix in HD, you'd say, well, that's a 5 score. But then if you were to then go and look at say a broadcast where someone is calling in on Skype, for example,
Okay.
or you have night shot, so you're showing a black and white film, then you'd have a score which is perhaps 2 or less. That doesn't mean anything, does it?
Yeah.
Really? So what you actually need is the second option that we offer, which is a relative score, and that's relative certainly within the OTT sphere, where you have different profiles. So with OTT, you've got different profiles,
Yep.
and what we do then is to measure from the best profile and measure according to the relative measurement from that profile. And there we can provide a score which is based on something called VMAF. A lot of people watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, Netflix, like us, believe in VMAF. It's an open standard. One of the problems with standards is there are so many of them.
Yes.
But the VMAF standard is something which is available for all to see. You can go on the web, you can go and see what actually is being measured, as opposed to being what has traditionally been a black box, where you didn't know what was going on. You just said, well, trust us, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. What we're saying is, well, we want you to trust us, but we're saying you can actually go and look and see for yourself what it is that we're measuring, blockiness, blurriness, these kind of things, and to see how we arrive at that score.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Philip. I hope Bridge Technologies will have a great broadcast Asia this year.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.